Hello. Hello. It's been really cold in here, so I'm trying to, stay warm as possible. Really have. It's been just a refrigerator in here. So, anyway, because of the wind, it's real windy. So, let's get talking about our meditation, and we will have I have a list of 10 reasons or red flags that I consider that if don't go by, more or less, it's like you could go, shit, that's a bad person, and you go, yeah. So let's go on with our meditation and ground ourselves, and we'll talk the 10 reasons that are red flags that you should drop someone on their ass and just leave them and forget their phone number and then some. Okay, no. Personal experience. I also got on there about stalking because usually they end up stalking you afterwards. And I got an organization. I just talked about I was being stalked online by somebody, and we're dealing with it with actual police. So you can actually have the police. They can look at your website if it's a certain person that is on a website or on their phone. They can get found out that way. But anyway, we're going to go on with the music. And we'll go with the 10, like I always say, we'll go with the first list and stuff, and we will talk about it. And my problems with that, and please put a thumbs up. It does help with the algorithm. So let's start with our meditation, and it's imagine a ball. It's at our feet, and it's going to relax us in the color we prefer. So we get the ball, and it relaxes our feet, our lower legs, our upper legs, our chest, our back, our arms, our hands, our neck, and head. And then it tethers itself and goes all the way down to the ground and digs itself, and it goes way, way down past the mantle and everything. And then it hits the core, and it sucks up all that love, and it gets to our feet, our lower legs, our upper thighs, our chest, our back, our arms, our hands, our neck, our head, and it spews out. Spews out. And then I'm going to send it to Pahrump and some people I really care about. All right. Hugs and kisses and love, sends it out. And then I take what's left into me, and I put it in my heart. And I will say 3 and I will have higher vibration and sending out my love for everyone. Everyone, have a good day. One, two, three, Hi. So we did our meditation. We're going to be talking about 10 reasons you should drop that crazy ass son of a bitch as fast as you can and run for the hills, because when you see these people, they're not really nice and they seem nice, but Pedro's, yeah. Number 1 is Pedro's. The list is down below. You can read them with me if you want to, but Pedro's is on the list. Yes, number 1. Yeah, you find out they're a fucking Pedro. Yeah, you do a background check. You find out they're super Pedro. Oh, I don't just do that. I tell them that if he contacts me, I'll cut his prices off. But, I never had to. But I found out one guy that I was about to go on a date with apparently was on the Pedro thing. And it was a little more than what I expected. And yeah, and he was really good looking. Oh, oh no, I don't care how good looking they are. Toodles. All right, we're going to go with number 2. And number 2 is the person wants to move the relationship at warp speed. They're moving the relationship at warp speed. You know, they're taking someone they never really knew and they're like trying to marry them in 3 months or less. And that's like really weird. I've seen it happen recently, and the person actually went and got had relations with somebody and then asked them to marry them that night. You know, I had a relationship with another guy and married another guy. Asked another guy to get married the other night. I'm like, wow. Warp speed never works. If you know someone for over a year or so, you've been working with them, or you know you're their neighbor, you know them for a year, you know that they're not an alcoholic. But I got enough alcohol in here to have a party. I go to the store, I buy shitloads, and I don't use it for years. I got shit over here that's 2-3 years old that I had it outside because I used to have parties out there when I, invite friends and stuff. And yeah, they're leftovers from 2 years ago. Most of my alcohol is like kind of old. So I bought some new ones and I didn't care to make anything. I was just like, oh, whatever. So anyway, yeah, when you deal with, it's like I said, they want to move it because, and in a lot of cases, their mental capacity, which is, we're going to go down to number 3. The person has some kind of mental problem, like a sociopath, some mental problem where if they didn't move it at warp speed, they would be found out before they got married or engaged, or like a friend of mine said that he had talked to my dad, and he said, well, it was going real fast. My dad's like, you know what, if it's really meant to be, because he has married several of his women, and the ones that took the longest, he said, was the long ones that stuck, that were good for years. He said, until they go crazy. No, I'm just kidding. But he stated that when you have someone within a month, and I'm not talking, I hear people that they get married after a month and stuff, and all these stories. Those are people who are the very few. And I guess you could say it would be the lottery winners. There's a couple out there, but not everyone's going to really win. Get it? Yeah. The reality is, if someone moves something at warp speed, and I had a guy I was dating, Brian, was moving everything at warp speed. After 2 weeks, he said, "Move in with me, or leave." All right, toodles, and I left. Yeah, he was a problem child. Okay, so now we're going to go, and he was a sociopath too, so I did the right thing. Number 4, the person say they believe in their hearts of hearts that they are a real alien. Fucking run. Just run and keep going. Someone tells you you're a real alien, you fucking run. There's certain attributes and certain things that, if you're a real alien, what they would probably do, and that's not one of them. So if they say they're a real live alien, and they what I mean, but the person say in their hearts of hearts they are a real alien, but in reality they forgot their pills to see the world right. A lot of these people, when you're talking about sociopaths and other things, schizophrenia, you're dealing with people who really, they can actually, and they've done tests on this, put them up to a lie detector, and they had said, are you an alien? Yes, they believe it so fucking much they can actually pass this. Parents, both, they look like his parents. They did a DNA sample, went to their family members, and this and that. And she goes, we're not aliens. My son's a nutbag. He just needs to, realize that, no, he's not an alien. He needs to quit telling people. And they've done tests on certain people. Yeah. You got that right. If some guy told me he was an alien, oh, he would be so gone. Yeah. All right. Number 5, the person is a raging alcoholic and hides it by tons of cologne or perfume, can drink any Russian under the table. Oh, me? Let's see, that was the guy that ended up shaking his hand. He had come in and he had drank, I'd say this was like happy hour. That's the only reason why he wanted to meet at that time at that bar over in Pahrump. The Golden Nugget has like a happy hour, and it's like the guy was just drinking. You won't. No, I'm good. I gotta drive. Nope. And I was drinking soda pop, and he thought it was a waste of a soda. And after 6 times and hearing his crappy story, I was done. After he had 6 beers, and I said toodles, and I was out the door. And he had enough cologne on to wear for every one of us. Because when people are severe alcoholics, they start sweating alcohol. They start smelling weird. Not bad, weird. Like, ugh. Like my roommate's one friend in Michigan, his name was Bo, but I call him Bobo. Bobo drank more than anybody that I knew and smelled like it. He had an odor. Yeah, that's what it is. They're just raging alcohol. No, I will not date that. And if you're going to be like acting like Bobo was not a happy alcoholic, the reason why they call it raging alcoholics, most alcoholics, especially if you were a sociopath, a schizophrenic, alcohol and weed should be something you should avoid, really, because that's something that when I went to college, they said sociopaths, anything where it's a mental condition, they do not suggest weed. It makes them worse, maybe triggers them. Okay, now we got number 6. The person loses custody of children because of abuse of some kind. Now, we're not talking abuse on them. It could be that the parent has alcohol abuse or some drug abuse where they feel that the kids are not getting to school on time, they are not clean, they're not being fed, all kinds of different shit. When you get that happening, and if it's like a woman, especially a woman, Nevada and California, my dad, who's a corporate lawyer, told me those are mother states. The moms get them. If you don't got a woman that has custody over their children in this state in California, that is a fucked up person. Don't even play with them. So, guess what? Yeah, that's right. I got talking with this fucking good looking man. Oh, he was sexy. Woo! He lost his kids because of alcoholism and cocaine. Oh, I quit talking to him because he was still going to have to go for his court appearance and all that. I'm like, you're nasty. Bye. Toodles. And that's what I did. Real nice, too. And usually they try to push your, like I said, at warp speed. That's a very big no-no for me. Okay, now we're going to number 7. The person expects most of your time for attention, or they will sleep with someone else. Oh, I knew someone like that. Oh my God. Every time a person give that person a ride, they go, someone's going to get lucky. I go, yeah. And it's not the person that's driving. Oh, yeah. If you have that kind of person, they might be addicted to sex on a reality thing. They might be addicted to sex and need to seek therapy. When you're dealing with sociopaths, they're more on the addicted of sex thing. They are. They're just, that's, their MO. So, it's just one of those things. And toodles. I don't have a lot of time to spend with someone. I don't need to babysit my boyfriend. If he loves me, he will keep his pants zipped and his privates where they belong, All right. Now, let's see. Number 8, hides important information. This is like they don't tell you they're married or they're with another person. Yeah, it's a big no-no. Toodles. or that they're 30 years older than what their picture is. Toodles, never again. What else? I don't know. I mean, if it's important to you, it should be important to them as far as I'm concerned. So we're going to number 9, lies more than our current president. If you have to check outside after they said what the weather was like, then yeah, you really don't need that. That's not a good relationship. Okay. You don't trust the person is number 10. That is a reason for you to move on and say toodles in more ways than one. If you have to deal with these people like that and they're that way, it's just not a good mixture. I had, like I said, every single one of them, I've had them. And I've said goodbye because my dad told me the one red light, which he considered, is if someone loses their kid and they're in a mother state, which is like, he said Michigan was one. They were big on that. And so was California and here in Nevada. But you know what I'm seeing more and more? I see more men taking care of the kids. Like really, the whole, thing is I see more and more men being the ones that are the caretakers, and the women are the one that are calling them, hey, when can I see the kid? Yeah. And I think that the roles are, in a way, reversing in a certain sense. It surprised me, though. I've seen already several people, that I've come in contact where they no longer have, their kids didn't grow up, they're with the father. And I'm like, wow, interesting. And I'm like, I think you got to get your shit together, huh? When you find people like that, I consider they still need to help themselves and they have to learn to. I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to fix anything. I tried that with senior psychopath and it didn't work out. So let me give you some good advice so you don't have to think that you can fix someone. You can't. You can't fix them. You can't lead them to water. You can't do any of that. You can't make them go to work on time if they're stinking ass drunk and can't get up. You just can't do it. So the whole point I put this list out, because all this list is shown is people who might, unless you're an alcoholic or whatever, unless you are that kind of messed up person, hey, go for it. But I give the 10 of the red flags of what I feel that any of those flags that come up, you should run from that person, including the alien one. Trust me. Anyone that says that they are an alien, they are nuttier than a Christmas fruitcake. And I kid you not. They have mental issues. It's not their fault. It just happens that way, that mentally some people just, it's just a shitbag thing that happens. So, and that's what I have learned. Hi, Mark. Are trans, yes. Yes. Oh, shit. If the person isn't, into transgender, and you don't tell them, that could be a biggest deal breaker ever. They've even sued. There's been, trust me, I've read it on LexisNexis, and there's been cases where men have sued transgender women because they did not state that they were transgender. Oh yeah, they learned real quick that, not telling your boyfriend that you were once a man too, makes a big difference. Hi, Fist. I just went through my 10 my list of 10 red flags. They're in the description box, and they are. I'll go through with them, and okay. The first one is the person is on the Pedro list. Number 2 is the person wants to move the relationship at warp speed. That's because usually the relationship after 6 months turns to beyond shit. Number 3 is the person has some kind of mental problem like a sociopath. Number 4 is the person say they believe in their heart of hearts that they are an alien, but in reality, they forgot the pills to see the world right. Number 5 is the person's a raging alcoholic and hides it by tons of perfume and cologne, can drink any Russian under the table. Number 6, the person loses custody of their children because of abuse of some kind. Yeah. Nuts. All right. Number 7 is the person expects most of your time for attention, or they sleep with another, or they sleep with someone else. Any one of these, I tell people just, get rid of them. 8, hide important information that you really do need to know. It's very important. Yeah. All right. 8 is high. 9 is lies more than our current president. And 10 is you don't trust them. So if you don't trust somebody that you're with, I mean, anytime I felt that I wasn't trusting like anyone, I just dumped them. I don't know how many men I've dumped and he said, don't call me back. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, the reason why the worst ones are on top, because if you get any one of those, anyone, my dad taught me this: make a list of what you don't want to see in a human being, and make a list of what you want to see. And what you do is put the list that you don't want to see away, and keep the list that you want to see out front, and say, hey, I want to see this every day. So you make a list. I want someone who's trusting and good with kids. I want to be with someone that works hard and enjoys what they do. They're good. I want to be with someone that is an amazing person to be with, that I enjoy and I have great talks with. You just make a list of what you want and you read them out. That's what I want in a person, and you get it. I'm sure of it. I'm going to try it because god dang, I should have did that. Hey, you can't put on I want a guy. Don't put I got a person with a big pecker, because you can get a person with a big pecker and no brains and they're lazy as fuck. So you want to get somebody who's a hard worker and that you enjoy being with. A big dick, all right? A big dick. You want to get somebody that's not just with a big pecker, okay? You want to get someone who can hold down a job, who can, not just take care. I don't want someone to take care of me. I want it 50-50. When you get, the reason why people have relationships too, and they move in together down the road, is because of one reason. And one reason is it makes life easier. Everything is cut in half. Your work is cut in half, and everything is cut in half. And you combine your incomes and you make a bigger, better life. Well, one day I'll see it. If they show it if they have it on YouTube. 6 days, 7 nights. So I said to my my son, he'll call up and bitch about his dad. I'm like, hey, don't go to me. You go to your sister, because your sister thinks that your dad is Jesus Christ and I'm the Antichrist. Woohoo! I got news for them. He raked my ass over the coals. I'm still picking them out of my butt. And I paid for the divorce. Hello? And you know what my ex and what he, okay, let me tell you. I didn't trust him. He lied more than our current president. He hid important information. He expected attention most of the time. He had 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, and that's it. He didn't get one. He wasn't on the Pedro list, but he got everyone but 1 and 4. That's the only one he didn't get. He had every single thing going on. Yeah, my dad called it red flags. You know, your honey boy has some red flags. And the red flags were if he wasn't getting attention all the time and someone wasn't like talking to him. Sociopaths are exactly what they are, sociopaths. And they feel that they need the spotlight on them all the time. Yeah. Ooh, I gotta get a drink of soda pop. I know it's not good, but boy, I do like it. Let's get sugar water. Okay, so if you look down below and you happen to date someone and they tell you they're an alien, you fucking run so far. If you drop that person out of your car as fast as you can get that fucker out, because they are not an alien. They're nuttier than a Christmas fruitcake. So you get that person away from your family, friends, and people you care about. You don't know how cray-cray they are, or if they're just plain just motherfucking woo-woo. I have yet to see someone say they are an alien and zip off their human suit and go woo woo woo. That happens, then that's a whole different story in itself, okay? And I will be very, yeah. Well, then you won't be dating me then. I do watch them. I watch it on YouTube. It's fun. But I don't live for it. Now, my sister, on the other hand, she lives in Arizona, and I love her to death, but when I visit her, that's all she watches. I can only take so much. So I guess you can say that when I'm with her, I get my fill and then I won't have to deal with it for a while. You got the ancient aliens documentaries and stuff like that. Those are really interesting. And they make you think, wow, where did these people get that kind of paint and that's only found 3,000 miles away? Somebody had to go there, and they had shitloads of it. So you know what I mean. I had my dad who never mentioned he worked for the government. He never mentioned aliens. He never mentioned where he worked at. He was still, when he was dating and I was a kid, he was still under the written policy that when he left that he couldn't tell. It was when I was older and he started talking, shit started happening to his health. And it was real weird. And I do think that he was killed by the government. I really do, in my feelings, but I can't prove it. And I'm like, well, there's nothing I could do. He started blabbing this shit, and it got him good. Oh God, this stuff sucks. So anyway, I like to, inform. Also, down below, I do have in the information that if you are being stalked, there is an organization and a telephone number. You can go on their website. It is very informative. I've heard some really good things about this organization. Drop a couple coins in. They're really good, hardworking people. They give you some really good information if you are being stalked online, which is the newest thing that police are dealing with, is stalkers online, and they track your computer when the people go online, and then they see how much information they get on you when you're like, if you're online and they go in your chat thing and they cause problems and stuff, and then you call that, they'll give you so much information, and such caring people. Most of the people on the phones are people who were stalked at one time. So don't think that you're alone. Never think you're alone. There's some great information down below. Use it. You know, that's what I have. The main thing I have going on is saying I have. Let's just put it this way: I'm tired of being stalked. I'm taking care of actions. So if the stalker thinks that they're going to scare me, they came into my room and said all kinds of nasty things, and I blocked them for 24 hours. And then I went online when they were still blocked. So yeah, they that's when I started looking in on online stalking. It's a lot more popular than what you think. A lot of people don't realize they do online stalking. I can't tell you on here right now, but they know who it is. And usually they'll come on there where it will be like two people. Say there's like say there's three people, it'll be four people, and there'll be like three thumbs up. They'll be the person that don't put the thumbs up. And they were the person. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about the alien. Run if someone says that they're an alien. Well, they came in there and they stated some nasty stuff on my chat, and it was my stalker. I can't tell you who it is right now because they could be listening. They can listen later. Those type of things scare me. So I decided to take matters into my own hand, not my own hands, but helping with other people and getting good information. That the thing for stalking with the phone number, give them a call. Somebody will answer, and it's by somebody who at one time was stalked, and they give you some good information. Because once you're stalked, I was stalked by my own sibling. Oh God, you know what they did? They used to ride bikes, and my sibling took a knife and put it in the middle of my driveway, like the beginning of it where I used to live, and let me know. I didn't give a rat's ass. I moved down the road, I moved where I never told my sibling where I lived. And that's how I took care of that, because I was thankful. But I can't tell you who. No. I wish I could, but let's just put it this way. She knows who she is, and she needs to quit. I really would appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, she came on here and said some really rancid things. And even though I don't have it where children could come in, what if someone was offended? I mean, come on, I know it's the internet, but yeah, this person was really, really not very happy with me. I have no idea why. It's my channel. They can have their own channel and say that they're an alien. That's how I feel. You think you're an alien? You're mad because we all don't. Yeah. If someone says they're an alien, fucking run. I'm being honest. I've yet to meet a real alien person going, I'm an alien. I guess my dad said there's certain protocols that are done that people just don't go out and say that they're, because they're not. Because the government would have them already. That's why. Okay? The government would have them already. All right? You get what I mean? They're an alien. Oh. All right. I don't know if you remember, there was a guy who said he was a male omega. He was in California. He had said to his gal pal, I don't feel well. And he put him in the car. You heard about it, thousands of dollars, hundreds, like a half 250, $100,000, and just shitloads of stuff. He had guns, and he had ammo and food, all kinds of shit. He was stuck piling for the fucking Antichrist to come and play Siege. And I was like, damn. So, yeah, if you have someone say that they're an alien, run like hell and know that they didn't take their medication. The medication make the world seem a lot better. But there are people who are that way. And like I said, if you're schizophrenia or you have a touch of it and you take that wonderful polygraph, that's why it's not usable in any court, any average. It won't hold up. Ask a lawyer because I was studying to be a lawyer. So if you kind of know the law, then you'll know that the reason why is because they have proven that schizophrenia, you will believe that so much that you will believe you're an alien even when you're not. You can even say if you believed if you were a dog and they put you up to that. If you really believed in your hearts of hearts, yep, that's it. You're an alien. But like I said, run. Most of those people have a lot more problems than what you need to tend to. And it's drama free to leave that relationship when it first starts. Don't marry the person, don't move in. Any of the persons that have any one of the red flags that are down below, do not date them, drop the rest as fast as you can, and then move on. It may hurt, but like they say, some of the most evil is the most beautiful at first, till you really see behind the facade, the curtain, and all that. My dad dated this one woman, man. She had so much problems. My dad just said, I got young kids. I got this. I got family I care about. I don't want you near my family. So my dad made a rule. If he didn't know them for 6 months, he didn't date them. So a lot of his relationship didn't come to pass because they weren't real relationships. You know what I mean? You want a relationship where you at least know someone more than a month or two before you fucking marry them. He said anyone that does that, it's like he said, any warp speed relationships rarely last because of that. There's just not enough information. Someone's hiding, something, and the other person's being more than telling the truth. And when that happens, I'm going to be honest, once you lose faith and do not trust somebody, it's time to let go and divorce or just leave the relationship. I have done it. Yes, I have. Am I heartless? I don't give a fuck no more. I had to spend so many years with a sociopath. I'm done being nice. You're not on a, if you're a Pedro, go fuck off before I get my baseball bat and beat your nuts to your inside of you. Shit. I'm serious. You just don't, deal well with that. So, yeah. I don't know what political trend is started. Um, but that's how it is when I date. I've been trying to curtail this for a long time. So when dealing with this, I have always had this idea and this feeling that it was going to get better with my sociopath ex, and it never did. It never got better. It got worse as time got worse. It just didn't do it. So what happened was I kept thinking that things would get better and better, and yeah. The only thing that got better is he got better at trying to lie. But my neighbors around here, they felt so bad for me. They contacted me and said, hey, Steph, you want to come over? I want to buy some eggs. So I go over across the street and she goes, yeah, your husband's spending a long time with the next door neighbor. I'm going, like, how long? Oh, the whole day. There's only so much you can talk about politics, and there's only so much you can talk about what's going on in the neighborhood. After you're done talking about it, it's usually been a while, a couple hours at most. He spends 8 hours a day next door. Oh, honey, I went over there when I got off work at 12 o'clock because they had, instead of 2, oh yeah. Oh, hi, Audrey's Journal. Thank you for subbing. Oh, that was a couple years ago. I've been divorced for over a year now. I've been divorced since July of 2022. So I put, since I've been dating, down below is the thing on if you're being stalked, because I'm currently being electronically stalked by somebody. And there's a list of red flags that I would say any one of them, just cut the relationship off. Harboring some anger? Oh, no, not really. At least I think that our relationship went south a long time ago, and it will start showing up, of course, in the bedroom. And I realized that maybe he wasn't for me. And thank you, Audrey. Audrey's Journal. Here, let me type that. I have to stand to type. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And if you're in a relationship, any of the lists down below will put that. I have in the information down below. Also, an 800 a number you can call if you're being stalked. Also, a website. It's a really good thing to use. It's a good thing. People, how can I say? You have other people who were stalked. They know the feeling. They've been there. Electronic stalk is almost harder to prove now than regular stalking, because when you call, yeah, you can use a burn phone, but still, it shows you called. You have to use a call tower, so yeah, it sucks. So sociopaths, they are, like I tell people, give it 6 months before you get really serious. 6 months. Because sociopaths and schizophrenics, after 3 months, they show their true colors. So, you know what I mean? Uh, you don't have your social media private? Like your Facebook should be private. Your Facebook should be really private, because it shouldn't be out there for everyone to see at all. Mm-mm. My Facebook is private. My friends are the only ones that can see. And if you have our friends on Facebook, you need to block them. Because that's what I would do. Oh, yeah. Beats. Oh, it looks like I'm in a fog. Oh, God, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Fist to heaven. What do you look like? I'm trying to imagine what you look like. Give us an idea. Ah, okay, all right. He has to wear that ugly bag, like 3 of them, like from the Renaissance Festival. You're a 53-year-old metalhead. You have long hair. Is it long and thick or long and stringy? So, Audrey, how do you feel about, have you dated some really scary dates that you were glad they didn't know where you lived? You go off your date. Oh, yeah. I went home and I had to tell my son some of my dates. Ah. And the biggest thing is going on the dates and finding out that your date can drink more than most of your neighborhood and then some. And ooh, oh yeah, it's like move on and let's go. Um, I've been trying to, just be on the positive side, but I did want to put out a red flag on dealing with, some of these people, because that's what I found out. The 10 is like, I have found out later on a lot of. I went a weekend with my one boyfriend, and he paid for everything and my gas to get there, the whole 9 yards. And I'm thinking, oh, he wants to get serious. I met his uncle and his dad, and I thought everything was getting serious. His luggage had the same last name as him, but a woman's name, and I figured it out. Oh shit! Oh god! So there's a lot of boyfriends that or he was just split up. I'm thinking, I don't know. I had a lot of so many that had not told me enough about their life that down the road it did ruin our relationship. So all the stuff that's down below is what I had to walk away from. And yeah, they were all good looking. They were all, wanting to go everything at warp speed. And I'm like, whoa, let's hold the brakes. And when Brian told me no, uh, so the only pic of you is on Facebook. I'm glad you're over that, Audrey. Yeah, it's good to you know be able to not see your ex ever again. But I also do some meditation in the beginning, and I have down below also Aaron. He's a good person. He's like a good person to like give you advice and stuff. So I listen to him, Aaron Darty. Oh, he's good looking too. So whew, yeah. Yeah, he puts me in that positive place that I need to be. And that's where I am. Oh, I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, there's Facebook. I'm gonna look up. Ah, there you are. Smoking a cigarette. All right. Exchange Club Island. Protected by fuck around and find out surveillance. Hey, I put ad friend. Hey. So anyway, yeah. Fuck around and find out surveillance. That's funny. So anyway, yeah. I'm under fake book under Stefania Candy Nagel, but everyone knows what I look like. And I privatized my my whole thing. No one could just see my friends or anything. I used to have it where you could just come and see it and stuff. It came to the point where I had friends contacted by ex-boyfriends and stuff, and I finally had to privatize it. It just got too creepy. And don't add them on social media for 3 months. Yeah, don't add them on your Facebook where your family and friends are at. You want to add them on some other thing if they want to go. But I do like to say, if you are being stalked, I do have information, and also call 911 if they are trying to break in. There, if you're in a place where you can have a gun, learn to use a gun and have a gun on you, because the police can't be everywhere. Ah, well, that's nice. And I just like to say, if you have any problems and stuff, state that, with a group of people here or with a couple of us, we can always help each other out. Because I know, Audrey, if you've had I'm sure everyone here has had some relationship where you're like, wow, what was I thinking? And a lot of times it's you're in that state of mind where you're not feeling good about yourself, and things are not going the way you thought they would. And then you get with this person, they seem so strong. What is amazing is when they go and they're so loving, they seem loving. Like my dad said, he gave every relationship after he had a really bad relationship where our safety could have been not carried out the way he wanted it. And he said, quote unquote, I felt so scared for you that I give every relationship 6 months before you even meet them. 6 months. Yeah. And that's what I tell people. Give it 6 months before you move in. I'm talking if you just met this person and you're like, say you're working at a place and you meet somebody, and then 3 months later you're moved in, that's warp speed. Okay? But if you work with someone and you've known them for over a year, you've dated a little bit here and there, and you know what each other, and you really want to find out what a person's like, and you go, okay, let's start off. And a lot of people do. They start off, they'll go off for a weekend together and see how they live together, and then they spend a night every so often, and it gets a little further on. If you know someone, because you people have privacy, and when you have family, if you're living with family, you don't want to bring a nut bag into your house. Okay, my dad had a woman who, after 3 months, she was giving my brother and me gifts. She was doing all kinds of stuff for my dad. And then she said, I want to move in. My dad's like, what? Oh, no, you're not. She had her shit filled up in her car. Well, my lease is going to be up next month, and I would like to move in. No, I give it 6 months. So he said, I'll help you with your lease if you need it. No, she wanted to just move in with someone to save money and shack up with someone, and my dad wasn't for that. And she went all crazy and started stalking him. It was weird. It was a weird time. And then I like to give people an idea. So let's meditate for good, uh a good miracle for everyone watching. When you do stuff at warp speed, usually it's because the person's so crazy they're not going to be able. They're like a teacup. They taped up their teacup and they put the paint on it, and it looks all shiny and perfect. They look good. And then when after 3 or 6 months, my dad says it's usually 6 months, the cracks show through and they start leaking tea. He says that teacup will not last the 6 months. 99% of the people that my dad was dating didn't last past 6 months. He said most of them were fly-by-night people. He had said that anyone that wanted to move in right away was dropped faster than oh shit. And yeah, there was a lot because we had a huge house and they thought that was a flop house, even though, you know what I mean? Oh, wow, you got money. I'm going to go and take advantage of that. And there's a lot of women like that. My dad found out in a small town that being that he was a hard worker and had a nice house, had decent cars, took care of his stuff and had kids, a lot of them didn't take the kids as a package. That's another thing. If they won't take your children as a package and want to send them off, get rid of them. They'll never change. You're not going to change them. You're not going to change them from a non-worker to a worker. It's just not going to happen, baby. It really isn't. You can't change them. As beautiful as they are, they could be just as dangerous. And I know that. So when you ever go out, say a prayer or do a background check. My friends have done both. They told me I should have been doing background checks for all my dating. In fact, when I'd go out and date, I had another way. If you're dating, what you want to do is tell someone where you're going. I'm going at this address. And when you get there, tell them I'm there at this address. And when you go to the bathroom, like I would do, I'd say, hey, it's a great address and stuff. So if no one would hear from me, they would know my last place. You're with a sociopath. Yeah. And sociopaths are not good parents. Trust me. My brother was born with Klinefelter syndrome, and that's where your ball sack is inside of your body, which cooks your sperm. And he cannot have children. You know what my father said? Oh my God, that is a blessing in disguise. It was. It was a blessing in disguise. When you're with a sociopath, they do not need to be smoking weed. Anything where it's mental, don't smoke weed. It just makes you a mean bastard or bastress. It really does. Triggers people, does all kinds of things. If you add alcohol, woo. It's called Klinefelter syndrome. My brother has it. He was born with Klinefelter syndrome. His ball sack did not descend. It's called descending when you become an adult and the male goes through puberty and the ball sack descends. It never did. He can't have children because he burns up his sperm. The sperm has to be outside of a male's body because it cannot be hotter. It can't be over 100 degrees. It has to be like 92 degrees or something odd like that. Look it up. It did descend. There we go. Yeah, if it doesn't descend, it will burn up the ball sack. So, my hair has been, the weather here has been so lovely. My hair is starting to curl. I'm like, crap. Yep, I figure that would be a good mental picture because you're a man. You have one. You can look and see. That's a descended ball sack. But if your ball sack isn't descending, it's because it's burning up those baby makers. And my sibling cannot have children. And I'm like, oh, well. Well, it's been over an hour and I got to get my laundry finished and stuff. So I got to get going. I want to let everyone know I really care about you guys, even my haters. So I hope everyone understands and we, talk about positive stuff. But I also want to say, hey, it's a pain. But anything I put down there is usually what I have walked away from um, all these relationships because they were, not really healthy. And that's why I did. And sometimes you have to. It's just not a point of if, you have to in order to hold on to your sanity. So keep up the fight. And I'm sure that it'll all work out for all of us. So I think summer's coming and I could be in my swimsuit that time. Or, not freezing my ass off. All right. Keep a prayer in your pocket and love in your heart. Omega, have a good one. Yeah, you hold your head up too.